Lovely people, this is Chef Deipu and welcome to Nature's Basket Cook-A-Thon, where 15 rocking chefs are going to teach you yummy-licious recipes in collaboration with TravelDine. And today, you're going to travel with me to Mexico, where we're going to be making amazing, delicious, cheesy quesadillas in my style. So let's get started. So now let's buy tomatoes because we're going to make delicious salsa. Fresh tomatoes in. Red, yellow peppers. Done. Cilantro, fresh cilantro in. We got cilantro. Fresh basil in. So there we have dry oregano. Lovely. Okay, so now there's a huge variety of cheese here. Which one to get? Which one to get? So now I'm going to be getting this Italian pasta cheese because this has cheddar and mozzarella mix. Cheese. Done. So now this recipe is not authentic, but this is the way I like it and this is how I cook in my restaurants. So as I mentioned, we're going to make quesadillas from Mexico. So let's get started. So the key ingredient, we're going to make a salsa. We need tomatoes for that. So what we're going to do is give it a small slit. So why are we doing this? We are doing this because once the tomatoes are boiled, we can remove the skin easily. So I'm using 4 tomatoes here. It goes in this pan. And we're going to keep it to boil for 3 to 5 minutes, depends. They should be soft but not very mushy. By the way, let me just inform you, all the ingredients which you can see over here are in Nature's Basket. They're the best and they are very fresh. So it's 5 minutes and the tomatoes are done. So now what we have to do is remove the tomatoes and put it in cold water. Now what this does is it stops the cooking process. So now what we do is we pick up the tomatoes and remove the skin gently. See how easy the skin is removed. So we got rid of the skin. Now what we're going to do is cut the head off and then roughly chop this. So basically why we're doing this is we need to make a puree, a delicious salsa. So it's roughly chopping. Anybody can do this at home. So we're going to add this in the blender. Some seasoning, a good pinch of salt. So some pepper in. Now I'm going to add in some jalapenos. So now what jalapenos does is adds in a little bit of sourness, some spiciness. Now it depends how much spice do you like. If you don't have jalapenos, you can even add in say paprika, red chili powder. And now I'm going to add in some tomato ketchup. Now why do I add tomato ketchup? Because it's going to add in some sweetness and it's going to give the salsa a good texture. There. Beautiful. Let's give it a taste. Woo! Tangy, spicy, delicious, 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 delicious. It's amazing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is keep this aside and let's start assembling the tortilla. But before that, let's heat the pan. We're going to add in some oil. Till the oil is getting heated, I'm going to chop some garlic. garlic in. So let's get started with white onions. White onions, I'm using it because I feel these are the best for quesadillas. So let's get started with the onions. Onions in. Now I'm going to add in some American corn. Peeled American corn, easily available at Nature's Basket. Now it's time for peppers. Let's chop in some peppers. Time for some red peppers. Peppers in. Give it a good shake. Now, do you guys know red, yellow, green peppers has its own flavors? Every pepper tastes different. Now finally, I'm going to add in some salt, some black pepper. Now time for some mushrooms. Now the idea here is I don't want the mushrooms to get very soggy. So that's the reason I've added the mushrooms in the end. I'm going to add in some basil to give it some extra flavor. I'm going to show you how to cut basil so that you don't bruise it. You have to roll it like a cigar. And we chop it. Add in some basil. So finally, the onions are translucent, everything is cooked well. I'm going to off the gas. And now we're going to add in some oregano. I usually add in oregano in the end because I don't want the flavors to fly, and it's dry oregano. That's it. Now let's assemble the quesadillas. I'm using Mexican tortillas, which you can easily get at Nature's Basket. These are ready made. What I'm going to do is the salsa what we made earlier, it's here, delicious tangy salsa. I'm going to pour it. Look at the texture, amazing. I'm going to pour it here, spread it nicely. Now we're going to add in these veggies, spread them nicely. Trust me, this is smelling amazing. So now let's add in some cheese. Here I'm using a mix of mozzarella and cheddar. So you know when you eat those pizzas and you get that strings out of those cheese, that is from mozzarella, and cheddar gives it nice savoriness. So let's get this in, spread it evenly. And now, boom. So now I'm going to add in some oil to the pan. Pan always has to be medium-high heat. You know why? Because I don't want the quesadillas to burn, but at the same time I want the cheese to melt nicely. Let's wait for the oil to heat. The oil is hot enough. Now this goes here. You press it nicely, and we're going to cover this for 2 minutes. It's nice and crispy. Come close, come close, come close. Look at this. The cheese is nice and melted. Now the most difficult part. Now what we have to do is we have to flip the quesadillas. Now the best way to do it is like this. Boom! See that? Nice and crispy. Okay, we're going to slide this and let it cook the other side. Now let's cut this. Okay. lovely, delicious quesadillas in my style, done in no time. Keep watching the space for more recipes. Keep following Nature's Basket, TravelDine, and Chef Deipu. Signing off.